I have a message to President Mohamed Morsi. He has to understand that he is a president for the whole of the Egyptian society, not just for one particular political Islamist group that is called Muslim Brotherhood. He has to realize that he was elected not just by this group, but rather by the whole of the Egyptians. He cannot monopolize powers just for himself. He cannot just become a dictatorship in 4 months that has not just the executive powers, but also the legitimacy, the legislation power, and the judicial powers. He has tried to pass on some revolutionary demands together with absolute powers, but this does not work. We did not topple Mubarak for being a pharaonic dictator, but to bring another dictator. This is absolutely unacceptable. If this was accepted by many Egyptians before the revolution, having been silent for many years. However, this is new Egypt. There's no more the barrier of fear. People are in the streets. They are demanding for their rights and freedom of representation. It is mediocre when writing the constitution draft that the Christian, like the church, is being represented by a Muslim, because after the withdrawal of the Christian bloc. And it cannot be just written by one group of the Muslim and Islamic political Islamists. You have to understand the diversity and the different ethnic groups that exist in the whole of the Egyptian society. This is one thing. Two things that he has mentioned before being elected is that he will include all the Egyptian society in writing the constitution, which turned to be default, and he turned it off itself. And second, he promised he will not put this into referendum without having the consensus of the Egyptian society, and this also did not turn to be true. And then he is twisting arms and bending our arms. If you to accept or to, I will withdraw the constitutional decree if you accepted the referendum and the constitution as it said per se, with all its monopoly and all the absolute powers, overpowers that is given to the military. I mean, the constitution actually is too much giving power to the military. It's kind of the militarization of the constitution, and this is not acceptable after the revolution. There has to be a huge amount of transparency and dignity. These are the messages that Morsi has to understand, so as not to turn into Morsi Mubarak. Enough with that. We cannot accept no more pharaohs.